Who are you and why are you here today?
My name is Julie Sowash. I'm the Executive Director and co-founder of Disability Solutions. I'm here because I am presenting tomorrow on ethical considerations in AI on Friday after everybody has an awesome time tonight. And yeah, just a lot of learning, making great connections. Got to participate in the RL 100 yesterday, which was really fantastic, the inaugural US event, and it was great.
So, looking forward, what advice would you have to your peers in the next 12 months?
I think it's really two things, and they're the same two things I say every time, and that's because things like at their base level don't change, right? Recruiting is not rocket science. I know we like to pretend that it is, but it's not. It's a human-human connection. It's using technology efficiently, and it's using our data to know what we need to get done and what's working and what's not working. And so like every single time I meet with senior TA leaders, senior HR leaders, I get really intimidated when it starts because I think, oh my God, these guys are gonna have it all together. It's gonna be the one that makes me look like I have no idea what I'm talking about. Inevitably, every time that we still don't have the basics. And the basics is the data. And so that's really the first thing. And I think the other thing is trying to be a little bit more proactive and less reactive to the environment around them, right? I mean, we've got to go like COVID, George Floyd, we had this really kind of like resurgence into the humanity of the world, into how we're going to make hiring more balanced. We're going to bring in diverse talent. We're going to do all of these things and talk a lot of talk.
Shit, yeah.
And then conveniently, as the winds change, companies use that as an opportunity to retract. And I know there's pressure in the market, and I know I am very protective and very covetous of my brand. I built it. It's my baby. I understand. But it's sheer weakness to see these Fortune 100, Fortune 1000 brands pull back because they're scared of a little political change. You're in or you're out, right? And it's okay if you're out. Just be who you are. Don't try to pretend that you're into DEI. Don't try to pretend that, now you're not into DEI because the political winds change. Like, be true to who your organization and your culture are, because it's whiplash for the job seeker, and it's this like fake hope that companies give, that fake like illusion of hope that we're finally going to get pay right, that we're finally going to build our pipeline so that it's Black, brown, LGBTQ, and disabled, and then you just pull the sheet right out from under our feet again, and we start over.
Okay.
So you are presenting tomorrow. Is some of this the focus, or some of it sounds like AI in recruiting and bias around that? What's the focus?
So I think that I'm generally optimistic about AI for our community and the diversity community in general, just because we are having good conversations. I'm actually pleased at the maturity of the conversations that we're seeing at this event, online, and in other places. And so I get to present with Fair Now, and we're going to talk about why it's important, what are some of the key components of ethical considerations in AI, why it's important to underrepresented communities like mine, and then how do we make sure that once we get that in the seat, or we get that in place, that we can actually start to move in the right direction and make sure that we're continuously moving in the right direction. So I'm excited about like conversations around synthetic data sets, greater transparency, real-time data. And I think the biggest thing that I've heard kind of, and I'll say knee-jerk again, but that's probably not the right word, is companies going, we cannot use AI because there's too much risk because our data is not clean. And the reality is that it's not possible to have clean data right now. You have to have tools, partners, and data to drive in what is going to be a better data set. And we have a starting point, and we move incrementally forward. And there's nothing wrong with moving incrementally forward instead of just saying, I can't do this because it might create risk for myself or my company. We need to be excited about what the future holds with AI and really have good governance and good behaviors out of the gate so that we know that we're doing the right thing and that we're using the technology and the data properly.
So looking backward, 2024,
Yep.
what surprised you the most about 2024?
I think it's been the constriction in the market. The labor market is incredibly strong. The U.S. economy is incredibly strong, and I think that we're starting to see some attempts to consolidate parts of the HR tech market, and that's a little bit what's driving layoffs. It's what's driving margins down. It's what's driving budgets down. And it's not really as realistic to the actual market itself, as in the COVID money's kind of drying up, and now we're making decisions that we should have been planning for a lot earlier. And some companies are looking again how to raise profits by squeezing out middlemen and other people in the market. And sort of the dismay, I guess. You know, it's like, it's January and I'm hearing, hey, the market's gone to hell, everything's a mess. There's 10 million open jobs in the US. We have the lowest inflation in the world. Nothing was bad, right? But we talk ourselves into these panics because we haven't built and thought proactively to what the market's gonna look like in 18 months or 30 months. And that's really what I would love to see HR leaders do better, right? How do we talk to our C-suite, and you and I got to talk about this yesterday with the RL 100, is if you know that you need more money, you need to make a business case for how that money's going to get to you. You can't just go to, hey, let's build a great EVP and a great career site. We don't need other marketing dollars. We don't need other attraction dollars. That's not right. And so we end up selling ourselves short instead of saying we need multi-touch attribution. We need multiple channels to get in front of the talent that we need, and we need to be doing it regularly because hiring is going to ebb and flow. That's part of it. And so we really need our TA leaders and our HR leaders to think more holistically and further down the timeline than right now.
Yep. I know that you live this every day, the diversity question, the inclusion question, and it sounds to me like you're creating a picture of the mental hurdle is hard for companies to get over, but I would guess that a lot of companies want to be inclusive. They want to attract a wider net of folks, but maybe don't know how to do it. For those folks that are looking for tactical examples or success stories, what do you tell them to get to that place?
Yeah, again, I mean, it's not rocket science. You have the numbers in your database, you know where your candidates are falling out. You don't need for me to bring you a Pepsi, right, who we've helped hire 4,000 people with disabilities. You don't need to see that. What you need to do is spend the time in your data and really be thoughtful about your funnel, and then go through it and see where there are opportunities. And know that there's not always going to be an opportunity to hit the metric you want, but we need to be moving forward incrementally because this is a lifetime's worth of work. That's what I tell my team every single day, is we have to figure out how to keep moving the needle, even though the needle's never going to move as fast as we want it to.
So 2025, looking forward, what is your number one priority?
My number one priority is continuing to push DEI, belonging, and not letting it go because some people are uncomfortable with it. Not letting it go because it's not the hot, sexy thing to do right now. This is our job, right? This, as DEI professionals, it is my job to always be the broken wheel, right? To always be pushing, because as long as underrepresented communities are not well represented in the C-suite and the leadership and in the TA departments, we're never going to get to equity. So I'm just going to keep pushing the envelope, making some people mad, and saying that brands need to be true to who they are and not try to play this back and forth game.
So the big question is, what's the best thing about being married to Chad Sowash?
Have you seen him? Case closed.
And with
I'm
that,
done.
Thanks. Appreciate you stopping by.
Is that not what I was supposed to say?
That was perfect. That was perfect. If somebody wants to connect with you for professional reasons, where would you send them?
LinkedIn, Julie Sowash. You can find me there. All the socials. Also, disabilitytalent.org.
thanks for hanging out for a little bit, Julie. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, babe.